It's Friday. Do you know where your IT pros are? We don't. It's Patch and Switch. And now, two guys who couldn't make it as extreme cheese sculptors. Apparently a big old puddle of mess doesn't count as a sculpture. Look, it's art, okay? It's Patch and Switch.
I guess art's in the eye of the beholder?
Look. I was not going for art, I was going for nachos. I just happened to apparently have been entered into an extreme cheese sculpting competition, but it was I'm like, it's just nachos. I don't know what you want me to do about it.
It's wallpaper paste. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wallpaper paste.
Or it's Play-Doh. It's Play-Doh, you know?
Slap it on the wall.
That works
Slap
too.
it on the
Play-Doh.
wall. Play-Doh?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Can I
is there Play-Doh sculpting competitions like Lego building?
It could be. It could be. But can I get like a congratulations or a thank you or oh my God, Rick, I can't believe you pulled it off from you at all and from the production team?
Well, from the fact that you were the one who decided to reboot your machine 5 minutes before the show and took a Windows update?
Just because the existing hardware I was going to use didn't meet up the spec and was having issues, and I switched to one that's been in like hibernation mode for a week and a half. Every single IT professional knows that firing up a machine after being asleep and disconnected from corporate resources for over a week and a half is going to have some issues trying to catch up with everything.
Well, I was just going good. I didn't know that you were going to make it in. I was just like, I'm going to tap dance a little bit.
It's like, what's the Patch and Switch BCDR plans?
I don't think we have one.
No, not at all. We can't even handle simple audio issues. We're not going to have a BCDR.
Yeah, well, we have a BCDR for audio issues.
yeah, we've got extra redundancy going on just in case. Resiliency, not redundancy. Resiliency.
Yeah, it's called a cell phone.
It's called a cell phone.
Works. Yeah.
Sounds like you're on one.
Nice.
Audio guys are on cell phones.
Man,
how are you, my friend? Welcome to another Friday. We're back. That's 2 shows in a row. I
know, and 2 back shows published in the in-between weeks. We are officially on a streak. We've hit 2, a streak. It's only taken us almost 10 years to do this.
Where we actually published relatively close to the day that the show was actually broadcast.
I actually have seen our subscriber numbers go up by 3 people.
Hey!
So we have 3 new subscribers.
It's only taken us, we've been doing this 10 years, 10 plus years.
Well, over 10 years, I'm sure.
And we finally gained 3 subscribers. That's amazing.
Yeah. I remember we used to have this as like a call-in show and people could call in.
Oh yeah.
I think we should have a call-in option again or something like that. I think
we have to come up like some Google number or something.
Just some random.
No, there's
person.
Ways to do it. There's ways to do it if you guys want to do it.
Some rando person, all of a sudden you're just talking with them. I was like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, because that there's no possible way that could go wrong at all.
Definitely not.
None. But no possible way at all.
So I basically had at least 1 Windows update, 3 driver updates by the manufacturer, one of which was my network card. So you know that has to be relatively stable.
Yeah, of course.
And because it was taking so long to authenticate, I figured, well, things have aged out. So I'm just going to actually wait for these drivers to install and do a full reboot and restart. Make it all nice and fresh. Have that new bootable user experience come up. And then it was down to the wire to see if it was going to work or not. But it actually came up and subsided. But I will say, and I commented this in the green room that we had before the show, my fan is freaking out on this. I'm using a Surface laptop device, Surface Laptop Pro, Surface Studio Laptop Pro, and it is freaking out trying to catch up with trying to cool things down. So.
Well, hey, you've got for the entire program, you've got that new network card driver smell. So.
Yes. Yeah. So I should be having the full giggies and also not dropping any packets. So we'll see.
Yes. We did the pre-show and Rick comes in. Look, I'm like, why does your audio sound like you're calling in from your cell phone with
Are you
3G
using a payphone
connectivity
somewhere, Rick? Is that what it is?
You on a payphone? I think a payphone would have been clearer than the sound that was coming in earlier.
Oh my!
Coming in earlier.
Oh,
we have some friends who have joined us. I see Mr. Coozer's here.
oh, nice.
Visio MVP, as per usual. Absablog and Lily, who's doing Control Shift A's today. Mm-hmm. Drops and says Control Shift A for the win.
Nice.
Oh, they have 2 tabs running and can't find the other one. Yeah, the number of times I've done that. Our friend DJ Eddie's in the house. Happy Friday to you as well. And then the Ferris to Brits is here.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised you're here, actually, because you were just over in the neighborhoods of the Fairest of Brits and others over across.
Yes,
the pond.
for a whopping 48 hours.
Yes, your clock must be so screwed up, or did you not even let it adjust? You just stayed as North.
Oh
American
no! Well, it adjusted to the point where, like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed at 10 p.m. and then 2 a.m. You're awake now.
Perfect.
Yeah. I never adjusted, but then when I got home, I didn't adjust either because I was wide awake very early this morning. So I'm probably sitting somewhere over Greenland time zone wise in terms of my body. It's somewhere in between. But yes, did the AI tour London. A cool experience. It was busy.
Oh yeah.
It was very, very busy. Lots of folks. All the sessions were standing room only for the most part, with, of course, the exception of my session. I'm trying not to take it personally, but I also know that it was the last session of the day. Yeah. And I also know the culture is to get on the tube and to commute out well before. Well, listen, they're just commuting to the closest pub to their house.
I was about to say, they're going to the pub. They're not going home. They're going to the pub.
Yeah, they're going to the pub.
So in theory, we should have modified the schedule for the AI Tour London and the Excel Center and had the last session in a pub. I think it would have been attended.
Well, I mean, look, my room was still well over 3/4 full.
Oh
yeah. It was good. Talk about pressure. Having to do a session where the session author is literally sitting in the front row heckling you.
Nice. That would, I would take it. That's the Sarah would be.
It was Sarah. Yeah. So
yeah. So I'm surprised she didn't actually stand up and like just grab the microphone from you and say, "Get out of the way. Let me do this."
Well, no. This is the fun part. So she was there supporting the keynote.
Right.
That's why she was there. It's an entirely different process and travel commitment and everything else.
They get their own areas in the building. They get their own rooms and things like that.
Exactly.
They have like pampered chefs that prepare them food and things like that.
Driven around on golf carts so that they don't get their step count too high. Yeah. So at any rate, she did fantastic demo in the keynote with Judson. It was actually really cool. She worked very, very hard on it. So nice. Kudos. I mean, I'm not to give Sarah Ann credit, but I guess I got to give her credit. No, she did a great job. But they were supposed to immediately leave after keynote and head to Vienna,
right,
for another event. But apparently something happened. Judson couldn't go, so they had to make some tweaks and changes. So the reason I was there doing the session that Sarah would normally do is that she would have had to have left. So the first thing that Sarah says to me when we met up with her for some fish and chips on the night that I arrived, she says, "You don't really even need to be here. I can do this for you." And I was like, and it's good to see you too.
Nice.
And she reminded folks in the room that actually she could have done the session, but
instead you get Joey.
Instead you get me. But no, it was good. It was a good time. Had some good questions. Had some fun. Lots of folks have been using stuff. We had some developer folks in the room. The coolest part is had a guy come up to me. He's like, "Oh, so the code that you showed on the screen that does all the deployment and the VNet and all of that stuff. I wrote mine exactly the same way, and it works fantastic. I just wanted to let you know." And I'm like, "That's cool, awesome." I'm like, I don't even know what it says up there. I just showed it, and then, so here's some code. No, but then we did a little quick troubleshooting because apparently their application likes to not use refresh tokens, so it tries to get a fresh user token every time, and it takes about 1 second to get a token, which is fine if you're only doing a few users, and a few calls, but it's like a help desk application. So anytime you're doing something, it's making another call. So having a 1 second pause while it goes and gets another authentication and authorization token, probably not ideal. So we were looking at some troubleshooting there, but yeah, it was a good call, and it was relatively decent weather. We didn't have any rain. We had sunshine.
Oh, nice.
It was cold in the morning, so around 0 in the morning.
Crisp.
Very crisp. Oh, listen, it was -1 in Vegas this morning.
Oh, it's cold for Vegas, boy, but it was beautiful for me.
Well, yeah, of course.
Who was that?
The other guy. And so
yeah, that's our
we
PCDR
started
guy.
at minus. We started -1 in Vegas this morning. We're currently at 8. That's in the Celsius unit.
Okay, I'm trying to do the math in my head. That means you're minus.
So it was 27. Feels like it was 27. Now it's 47, 46, 47, something like that. So it was good. It was good. Can we talk a little bit? So can I sidetrack completely not related to tech?
We have a structure to the podcast. This is technically the stuff that you do at work, or at least it was, which is known as.
Oh yeah, did we already start the show? All right, my bad. I won't sidetrack us.
No. You before we officially start that segment, you can still sidetrack. You are allowed, according to our contractual agreement. Yeah, you're good.
So the best part of long international flights is movies.
Oh yeah,
and getting caught up.
Did you binge on something and catch up on something?
Well, no, we caught up on Conclave. Have you seen Conclave?
I have not seen Conclave.
You need to see Conclave. You need to watch this movie. It's only it's less than 2 hours, or right around 2 hours.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci, who I'm a fan of, very, very good, very good. And I'm like, there's something going to happen here. And I did not expect. There's a great twist. You've got to watch it. Highly recommend.
Plot twist.
And then, yes, and from the airline seats. Nice graphic there. Nice graphic in production from the airline.
Love seats. The lower third.
But I did actually get caught up on a television show that is related to this audience. Have you watched Halo?
I have not watched Halo. No.
Yeah.
I highly recommend. Highly recommend it. I actually really have enjoyed Halo. I am 9 episodes into the first season. Yes, I know the first season was released like 3 years ago. I get it. And while I am a Halo, I enjoy playing Halo. I'm not big into the whole, like, I'm not like hanging on the storyline like I am like with Diablo and some of the other games that I played. But it was kind of cool just the way they've set it up, and it's kind of a behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, kind of like how what do they call those? I'm sorry, the jet lag is real. Yeah, the jet lag. It's how Master Chef became Master Chef, kind of an origin story, kind of a thing. So yeah,
yes, chef.
Yeah.
Got it.
Visio MVP says in chat, follow the structure. Why start now? You're not wrong.
Very true. It's a flexible structure, I will say. It's a flexible structure.
It's like flexible work, flexible show. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no idea where I am.
Well,
if I accidentally fall asleep in the show, I apologize.
So from the airline seats, I had been doing some travel to Puerto Vallarta a couple of weeks ago, and then did some travel to Minneapolis last weekend.
Yes, that's right.
So I have also been taking some at least 3-hour flights, but not anywhere near as long as what you've been taking.
A 3-hour tour.
I decided to finally get myself set straight with all of the John Wick movies. So I watched one probably when it came out ages ago, and then I'm like, did I finish watching 2? Did I not see 2? So I ended up watching 2, and then on my return flight I watched 3. So I'm now about to start 4. and then I'd be finally caught up. And 4 came out in 2023 for those of you that are John Wick newbies. It's just they killed my dog and wrecked my car. And I'm going to blow everything up, kind of thing. So it's
You
very
killed my
good.
teacher.
Yeah, they are very good, gratuitous, violent movies. Lots of killing and blood. He does a lot of the same moves. A lot of takedowns are the same, with flipping over and grabbing people and stuff like that. So, it's not bad. But I'm anxious to see how this particular series ends because I don't know. So I'll find out.
I traveled,
but I need to have another trip to be able to do it because that one is 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Oh wow,
it's long. Number 3 is 2 hours and 9 minutes. So that just fit in the flight for what I was doing. I could not start the next one, which kind of sucked. So we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. See if Keanu gets the rest finally.
AZ Cloud Elf dropping spoilers in chat.
Yeah,
saying they all die.
We'll
Isn't
see.
that kind of
We'll
what
see.
happens in every movie?
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and I am inadvertently gadget-wise. Do you have one of those?
I was just about to talk about that. I was just about to talk about this device
I'll save it. But I love this thing.
Oh no, you don't need to save it. We can talk about it because I grabbed one of those before. Yeah. And unfortunately I have not yet had an opportunity to use it just because of
still?
No, I did on this flight.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is that you plug that thing in, and even though it's like, I mean, I was able to sit up in the middle classes, so like I wasn't in first class or anything, but even covered up, it still works fantastically, and I absolutely love having no wires attached to the aircraft in-flight entertainment system, or the IFE as they call it. That thing is fantastic, and I don't know what the rated battery lifetime is, but yeah.
I've had this on one of my I used it on my trip to Australia. So it at least was a 15.5 hour with no problem. These are the AirFly Pro. This is the Pro version. My biggest concern is I'm going to leave it plugged in when I get off the plane, or I'm going to put it inside my pocket in my shirt or something like that, and then forget that it's there and then wash it. Those are my 2 biggest concerns that I have. The other concern that I have is that there's no user interface on it whatsoever, except for like a blinking light. So technically there is, but what was happening was this was actually firing up, and then it would take over my wife's headphones.
Oh, because she was using it?
So she ended up listening to John Wick for a while, and she's like, "Would you stop that?"
Well, it's because her headphones are obviously paired with it, right?
They were paired with it at one point, but the problem is there's no way to unpair them easily because it keeps on repairing. So you literally have to do a reset on this to then go and repair from scratch.
Unless you're using headphones that have an app.
True.
But I don't have those. I'm using some Sony noise canceling something WH-1000s or something that uses the Sound Connect app, and I can do it there. Wire Connect asking, does it have a 3-prong adapter? The Pro version does have a 3-prong. Oh, no, not a 3-prong, 2-prong.
No, you have to have an adapter to be able to fit into the international 2-prong.
Some planes also have just the normal 1/8 connector.
Yeah,
so.
And I cannot tell a lie. In Australia, they had a set of complimentary headphones that had the 2-prong adapter zip tied to the end on every single seat, and I happened to have, just by the luck of the draw, ended up with a malfunctioning zip tie that made it so that I could have the adapter come with me. So that was great.
You borrowed it because you didn't
I borrowed it, and I also I left I think the headphones were complimentary to a charitable organization for, please donate. So I gave them like $5. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. No, I'm a big fan.
Did you get your bag?
Yeah. So
sorry, somebody yelled, "Did you get your bag?"
Did I get my bag?
You got the headphones, but did you get your bag? Isn't that when you lost your bag?
Oh yeah, your bag just took a trip over to the other side of
Oh,
Australia.
yes, yeah. I'm like,
Yes.
context? What?
Exactly.
Never mind.
This voiceless, this
Exactly.
headless voice comes on. Yeah. So yeah, the bag came back.
Uh,
It couldn't stay away. It came back the very next day.
Gadget 360 says, "Dang it, I missed going live again." He says hello and then resubs. So thanks for
Yeah. There we
the
go.
kids say thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate the support. 13 months.
So did you partake in any other fun activities while in London for 48 hours?
I ate fish
besides
and chips.
Did you see
And
any
I had
ballers?
Wagamama.
Oh, you had Wagamama, you bastard.
And I had Olenstein twice, which is a Danish bakery that makes good coffee and pastries. Pierre was having, I don't know, it's a cream pastry of some sort that
Vanilla cream puff of some
yeah,
kind.
vanilla cream puff. That's what he was eating for breakfast, and I'm like,
Oh,
well,
nice.
you'll be fine with the sugar rush.
Yeah, and then subsequent sugar crash.
Yeah.
Did you see
Other
any-
than
did
that, there was no time. I mean,
Did you see any bollards?
what?
Bollards.
Ballers?
You don't know what bollard
Context?
is?
Ballard?
It's all those like metal posts that are all over the place to keep cars off the sidewalks and keep them from going down.
Oh
the
yeah.
different
I
streets
mean,
and
yeah.
stuff. I am an aficionado of bollards.
Oh, you're an aficionado. Okay.
Yeah. So
Gotcha. No, we saw Chinatown and we saw Soho, and then I did get to ride the Liz line for the first time.
oh yeah.
So the new Elizabeth line, which was very, very easy method to get out to the Excel Center. Because remember last time I was out there, you and I had gone out there was pre-COVID, where you take 3 different underground lines and then the above ground train, the DLR, and then so. But that was there was not much time at all to tourist. Pretty much the reason we saw Soho is that's where the fish and chips place was that we went to. The reason we saw Chinatown is it's the easiest way to get to the Liz line. So
did you get the crispy bits from the fry bin, from the chip
bin?
The
what do they call those? There's a term that it's not the crispy.
What is that? What's the name of that thing? It's the crispy bits of the fish fries.
Yeah.
What's
maybe
it called? Fair Brit, you know what it is. Come on, what is it?
Exactly. No, but you can. I think we could probably have ordered them as an additional. And then Pierre was with us.
Essex girl on the spot because we're having her answer, culture.
I know,
terms.
of course.
And she's probably not listening. So,
Pierre was the Wired Canuck was with us, and he's like, the fish and chips come with coleslaw, which immediately gets chastised by Sarah. Coleslaw, and she was chastising me for using the tartar sauce instead of the curry sauce that she got.
Yeah.
Right.
So Fairbrit in the chat has said she missed it. The question was, what are the crispy bits called in the chip bin that you can ask for inside of a fish and chip shop?
Scraps.
Scraps. Scraps. Okay,
that's what it is. Yes, and she has confirmed in chat. It is.
She has confirmed.
Confirmed
in chat.
So no, it was fantastic. It was great. And then one evening, so we were there on Pancake Day.
Yes.
And we skipped pancakes because we're like, we need some meat because we've not really eaten all day. So that's when we went. So Wired Canuck and Wired Jeep went to Wagamama, which look, I know it's a chain. Yes, I know there's probably amazing. A ton of other places we could have gone to, but we got a bunch of starters.
You got to get it when it's there.
Couple of pints of Asahi. And actually the big bottle, not the pints. And then we did happen to drop in, as you would, right, as we were coming back from rehearsals. It happened to be the proper time of the evening to grab a pint before going back and settling in for the evening. So we did stop at Brewdog.
Oh, nice.
And I had their nice little. They've got a new session IPA, which was very, very nice that they've done. Which is different than the ones that they sell here. So that was very good. So had that, and then a nice little lager for, of course, Pierre, because lager or pilsner. I don't remember. Maybe it was a pilsner I got him, but yeah. So there was no time to do much of anything. Like all the touristy things I saw is because I was walking past it, trying to get to and from the Excel Center. So
very cool.
Yes.
Well, I'm jealous you made it across the pond. It's been far too long since I've been over that way. Glad the event went well. Waiting for Pierre's trip report on all the stuff that you learned from talking to customers to come in. I'm assuming that's going to be arriving by end of business today. So we'll find out. We'll find out.
Not called out on the show. Not called out on the show.
Yeah. On my side of from the trenches, I've been doing work with helping the team get up to speed on what we're going to be focusing on and strategy and other things like that for the next short term, which you're well aware of because you're part of the team. And I've been having my first one-on-ones with new managers, which are awesome to have, which is great. So that's always good to have. And I've been supporting getting ready for what's little thing that's still very important, which is known as the Windows Server Summit. And
yes.
The Windows Server Summit is taking place April 29th and April 30th. It's an online virtual event. And I tweeted and X'd it and blue skied it and LinkedIn it and stuff like that. And oh, look at that. There it is, the official page talking about it. Basically, engineers talking about the content that they've created and the services and things like that they've created with Windows Server 2025. And it's taking place. And the cool thing that's going on right now is planning for the keynote. I cannot divulge the full details, but it's going to be a keynote like has never been seen inside of the Windows Server community before, which is kind of cool. And obviously, we're talking about Windows Server 2025 in all of its hybrid glory and attaching and working with the Azure spaces as well. So
nice.
Yeah, like we're talking GPU virtualization, GPU pass-through. We're talking about cool storage and performance increases and upgrade processes and all that sort of stuff. So really,
VMware migration,
content and Hyper-V and that sort of stuff. So all the stuff you'd expect to find inside the Windows Server ecosystem, and then also adding on a little sprinkle of Azure in there as well. So good stuff. And you would be pleased, my friend. I completed a course. Actually, I completed 3 courses while you were gone over the last week or two. Since the last
on
generative AI.
Okay.
And also on agents and the future of agents inside of the AI world and the Microsoft ecosystem.
Oh, nice.
And also some stuff on running your own LLMs on top of your own hardware and stuff like that. So I'm getting up to speed on a lot of stuff, because one of the questions that the team has had and I've had is like, what the hell is an AI workload anyway? You know? It's like, and after all the research and after all the stuff, it's like, well, an AI workload is just another workload you're running on top of your infrastructure. It just so happens
it's more intelligent.
Yeah, it's obviously more intelligent. It can do more stuff, but it talks to all the same things that you've been working with before. So
yes,
it talks to storage. It has to have identity. It has to have security parameters put in place. It has network constraints you want to go off and put in. And that's all the stuff that you folks are talking about at the AI tour in London. So,
and you need to make sure you have AI safety in front of it, right? Because it's like some of the safety controls and content safety is actually a security mechanism, right? So prevent it from talking about things that it should be doing. GoGo Gadget 360 in chat says, is there going to be any Azure local stuff at Windows Server Summit?
Yes, there will be.
Okay. Fair enough.
Stay tuned. We're going to be releasing the content that's going to be covered. I think later this month. I have to look at the schedule. I should.
Yeah, next couple of weeks.
Yeah, next couple of weeks. Thank you, Pierre. The headless
there
voice.
You go. Mr. Kuzer says, sounds like it's going to be a huge event. So yes, very good. Very nice.
And I got to say, some of our audio folks are so good on their audio. I can literally hear someone chewing someone
typing on
drinking,
typing on
opening
their
pop,
keyboard with the
like
with the
that, or
proper-
keyboard or something like that. So
Yeah.
mute your microphones. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
Super fun.
Very good. Very good. That's right around the same time. Actually, Windows Server Summit, I want to say, is right around the same time. I'll be at RSA doing security things. Yes.
It's the little thing in New York, in San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other part of the country. That's a short flight for me.
When's the last time you've been to San Fran?
I think it was a build.
Oh yeah. Wow, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And you're going to be downtown. That's at the Moscone Center.
Yeah, it's at Moscone. Yeah.
I need you to do some recon for me about what to do while you're there, man.
Well, again, this is a short trip. I'm going in for kind of 2 days, just going in to support the booth for 2 days and doing a session. So,
Oh yeah, but still, like, what's around there? The actual physical location? Anything cool? Like, just take a couple of notes. Besides,
okay, I'll take some notes.
Yeah, I went from the hotel to the center and then back to the hotel again.
That's pretty much what I plan on doing. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the city. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, it's just not my idea of
Not your kettle of fish.
Yeah, it's just not my kettle of fish. But I do believe I'm being taken out of the city for dinner one evening from one of our colleagues has invited me out, or perhaps out on a boat. But it also depends on the timing, because I do know that I am working. So a lot of the work that I've been focused on lately is around Azure core security. So the security that is part of Azure. So think, network security groups and doing proper VNets and talking a lot about some of the best practices around security and using built-in security of Azure. So that's what I'm going to be doing there at RSA. And so a very targeted, focused, there's not, I think it's me and one other person who's talking about this stuff. So I'll be probably much that you do not move from this spot, stand here, and then we'll come get you when it's time to go do your talk. And then come back and stand here. Yeah. I'm not allowed to move, but
we'll push food towards you and here's some liquid so you don't dehydrate.
Oh, I don't know if I'll get food. They may just give me water, and then I don't know. I'll bring my bar with me or something.
Let's say bring your bars, man. Bring your bars.
That kind of kept me alive this week, in all honesty, because it was kind of the same thing. It was a little hectic in London, but yeah, it was good. It was good. Should we move the second segment of the show now that we're like half an hour in?
You probably should. Beer talk, my friends.
Beer money, right?
Or we're going to skip over top of talk and go right to beer money.
Well, I thought beer money's first and then beer talk is next. So.
See, it's been so
beer
long.
Money is second. Talk is third.
Thank you. It's been so long since we've done this correctly that
Beer money. You're lucky that I'm actually even here and functioning and speaking to you right now. Because my brain, I just keep getting the Windows spinny disk at times where it just goes with one moment color.
So I've got one, but you can go first if you want.
Well, you should talk about the beer money support you did with me.
I don't remember which it is. What are you talking about?
Well, last week I pinged you and I'm like randomly, I'm like,
oh,
can I ping you for some beer money support?
Yeah. I was.
And you're like, sure.
I was out on a walk.
You pop up and you're walking Bailey.
I'm walking Bailey because she needs to have a bit of a walk, and then you're asking me about what is going on. Does it make sense to go in because I see a good price on swapping out and getting a new switch for the ubiquities? Because you've got 2.5 giggies coming in the house and you've got the capabilities. And does it make sense to have a 2.5 giggies or higher switch, 10 gig or whatever it was you're looking at, up above? And, you had all the right stuff and all the right things. But sometimes we get so obsessed with looking at the specs and just the thing, we forget about the broader picture.
Which is exactly what I did.
My broader picture to you was quite simply, so sure, I mean, that's all going to work. However, what are you plugging into your switch? Are they all 2.5?
Like, are the network cards on your machines all the right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Last time I
was my
checked, my
mistake.
laptop does not have a 2.5 gig.
And you are
machine.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the PC cases have them. They'll have 2 NICs in them in the higher end motherboards, one regular and one 2.5. But yeah, your core infrastructure in the house is all set for 10 gig, 6E shielded, I'm sure. And therefore, it makes sense to upgrade your infrastructure. However, you're not going to take advantage of any of it. Possibly, it'd be the congestion of all your devices simultaneously doing 1 gig throughput. That would possibly exhaust your switch for the downlink or the uplink. But you're not going to take advantage of it until you actually have 2.5 giggies across the board.
Well, and the conversation started as I was asking about if the SFP ports. So I use one with an adapter on it to connect the other switch, and then I use the other one? We were calling
it SPF ports or sunblock.
Well, yes, of course, because sunblock ports. Yes. Why would I use the actual name when we can have fun with it?
I continued with it because I didn't know what the proper one was either.
Yeah.
Rick, remember, he lives in Las Vegas. They get a lot of sunshine there. You gotta protect your ports.
I need my SPF for my ports. So I use the 10 gig SPF to connect between a 24 port switch, which everything kind of runs to. It's the home run for all the rooms in the house. And then I was like, well, if I got another one and I just used like an Ethernet, right, to do a 10 to get the multi-gig, right? Can I run them both at the same time? One is a distribution and the other one in. And we answered that question. And then I'm like, I don't know why I didn't do this when I built it. And then you reminded me, hey, dude, you maybe have one device that actually can use it. And it is my gaming PC, so it might be worth doing.
Nice.
But yeah. DJ Eddie says, I hate it when my neck gets sunburned. It's even worse when your entire switch does.
Yeah.
Gets sunburned. Yeah, that's not good. Not good. What other beer money support have you done?
I've had the lovely experience. I'm sure you all had this at some point in time too, of helping out some aging parents just recently.
Yes.
New iOS update to my dad's phone, and it has the new AI capabilities, the Apple intelligence capabilities built into it. And it's kind of taken over defaulting to try to use its own password storage options as opposed to using the 1Password one that was configured for him. And so he basically at some point was probably asked a question. He answered it the wrong way. And he said, yes, go ahead and use the local as opposed to using 1Password. And then now our shared vault that we have is out of sync with being able to help him remotely to be able to log into things. And so I've been trying to work with him to find time to be able to do it. And then having to teach him how to do a screen share on a FaceTime call so I can see the settings on the iPhone to turn it back again.
Yeah.
It's a new level of, I think, the 7th or 8th level of hell trying to get down that. So I'm still working through it. But and then compound that as well. Well, the funny thing is, it's all working fine on his Mac, but it's not working fine on the phone because of the stupid update that happened. So, yeah, pain in the butt. That's been my light level of issues that have been going on so far. Yeah, not much else I can say on that side. Pain in the butt.
I did a little remote support as well. I have the Arlo security system here that we use. And they've done so. Their app version can be the same on 2 phones, but then there's an internal UI upgrade that you can opt into. And apparently I had done that, but the other people in the house had not done that. So they can see live what's going on, but they can't go back and view recordings.
Oh, yeah.
And so I actually found, I was like, well, this is really weird. Did you get a prompt that says to do this? And they're like, yeah, but we said no because we didn't want to break anything, which is great because I don't want them. Well. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, so how do I re-trigger that? So I did the proper searching and found out. And so I was on the beer money support and I'm like, okay, so what you want to do is you want to go in and you want to add a camera. And I did this twice with 2 different people in the household. The first one was, we don't have a camera to add. I know.
Just do it
because it's going to, but we don't have a camera. Yep.
Oh,
Click the button,
man.
please. All right.
Yeah.
Now, when it prompts you, click yes.
Yeah.
But we don't have a camera.
Gotta love the UI. Gotta love the
yes.
UIs.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So
I
that was a
did
little
some-
bit remote beer money.
I did some local beer money on myself, updating and working with getting my Synology NAS up to date. It's been a while since I've gotten that up to date again. So that was fun, updating and patching and everything else. Not bad. Still, I haven't killed it at all, so that's all still good.
Still going, still doing
going.
the things it needs to do.
It's literally just sitting there spinning, consuming electrons just to be able to keep my files at home across all the different devices happy. So that's good. And funny thing is, because we have some home videos and pictures on that, obviously, and the kids have discovered that they can actually go in and use the Plex software on their built-in TVs that they have, the smart TVs, and they can attach up to the NAS device because it's running Plex. And they can actually watch these small little home videos of the kids growing up that we've taken all throughout the years as little 1-minute clips or whatever it happens to be able to go off and see things. And so I actually found I was fixing this for because I was out of date with the software and also out of date with the picture manager. And all of a sudden all these, I'm like, I wonder, because I was recently I mentioned Minneapolis, looking and watching some softball for my daughter who's a junior in college, playing softball for college. I actually found the first at-bat picture of her playing softball back from 2012, literally not even a full year that we'd been in the States, of her at bat. And she has the same look on her face.
the extreme concentration look.
Extreme concentration.
Yes.
I'm going to kill this ball.
Yes. Yes.
So I made sure to send that to her to say, hey, look.
You need to do one of those how it started and how it is now kind of back to backs, particularly with the photo. Like, I'm sure you've taken a couple of good at bat photos of her recently. So yeah.
Fun beer money.
Yes, exactly. Fun beer money. Hey, beer talk. So I'm gonna go find, because I mentioned it.
Yeah, you mentioned to get something from Brewdogs, their new session ale.
I'm like, what? I could see
you could see it. You could see the logo of the dog, but you couldn't quite remember the name.
Yes, I'm going to.
While you're searching for that, I'll just come up and fess up and just say I haven't had a good beer in a while, and anything new in a while. So I'm just going to pass on this section. I'll let you have the full. You have the floor.
I have the floor.
Yes.
So let's go to the website. Okay, I opened a menu and it brought up the food menu. Who goes to this place?
Who goes to the Brewdog website to see food?
I mean, they've got food.
That does.
Yeah, Ledwig does.
That.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Ledwig does. View menu. Okay, let's see. All right. No, that's all food. What is happening? Why don't you show your beer list?
The insanity.
Hello? Yeah, okay. So I've got nothing. Literally every menu on here. Food and drink. Okay. View menu. Main menu. Or
Really?
I can look at the impossible foods. Yeah, literally does not show their beer menu.
Wow.
All right, so that's beer talk.
Yeah, that would be a first segment fail we've had in a very long time.
Actually, there's another one. Camden Brewing makes a Helles lager, so it's Camden Helles.
Yeah,
very good, very good. Highly recommend it. And it's available through most. I think I saw it at 3 of the 4 pubs that we were.
Do you know what I drank when I was in Minneapolis?
Water.
You are correct. Someone handed me a Coors Light.
Oh, on purpose?
And I drank Coors Light, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
it's a sad day.
Brewdog has an exclusive they do with British Airlines called Speedbird, which is very good.
Oh.
Had that in the lounge. As I was transiting home. I was coming home. The lounge, the lounge here in Vegas is not. It's like one of these shared lounges.
Oh yeah.
Between like all the international flights, and it's like the size of a closet. And their beer selection, they at least they had Atomic Duck. I mean, that was kind of the only saving grace.
Okay.
But like, they have like two styles of snack mix for your food. Like, it's just not. It's not a great experience. Departing out of Terminal 3, but yeah. Anyway, that's beer talk. So let's talk about random spending. So you talked about
wait. Before we get to random spending,
oh
we
yeah,
need
sorry.
to at least say, because I've noticed a couple people, you need to go in and give us some suggestions on what to have for the name
words.
Of the next show,
Yeah.
Word of the day. Only because this particular show is called Bruising Our Cruising, Streaking, and GhostBlogger.
Yes.
So you too can be part of the creative process of this podcast known as Patch and Switch by putting in your WorkSafe word with the exclamation mark word, and then going and vote at patchandswitch.showbot.tv. At which point Joey will look at them at the end of the show, completely disregard who votes, and simply choose the next.
I 100% pick things that people vote on.
Sure. But anyway, you can't play and you can't have fun unless you go and put in exclamation mark word or bang word, and you're good to go.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can go ahead and do random
spending.
I have this thing coming up in April. I'm going to be doing a 9-day backwoods adventure bike ride from Yuma, Arizona, and the Mexican border all the way up to Reno, Nevada, but all through the California side of things. Yeah. And I'm going to be in the back of a motorcycle, and I realized I need to have some safety equipment after my time in Mexico. So my random spend has been bulking up some safety equipment for me while I'm on that bike. So I spent a big chunk of change on a new pair of boots.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So my boots were the original ones that I bought back in 2013, I want to say. So they'd been kind of old. I took them to Mexico to be able to go off and do some riding down there. And some pieces of those boots had broken and or fallen off. I cannot say that I was responsible for that, but they basically had served their time. So rather than pack them back, I just disposed of them. There was time for them to pour one out for the homies, let them retire in peace. But then that meant I had to go off and buy some new ones. So I literally just picked them up yesterday. Very excited because they're boots, and probably will save my ankles if something happens. I crash.
If there was a situation, if a situation occurred.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of having to get yourself a good seatbelt.
Fair enough.
New boots is the closest to technology that I have to say that I've spent in the near term future.
AZ Cloud Elf asking, did someone just do the iCarly voice? Yes, guilty. Because anytime, random random dancing, the show.
Yeah.
Did your kids watch iCarly? Yeah, that was a thing here too.
Back in the day.
Random dancing. Yes. My random spending will occur today because I didn't do it before I left. So a proper USB-C or what's the other name for that? That port.
Thunderbolt
on the Apple Thunderbolt. Thank you. And a combo device for port expansion, graphics, and networking.
Like a mini hub kind of thing that we used to have back in the day.
Travel sized.
Oh yeah. We actually ran into a problem with that in Australia because the version that I had, which was a USB-C adapter from Anchor at the time, they no longer make it anymore. It didn't work with the projectors well. It actually caused interference with the projectors. So I am also in said problem of having to update those with new ones. Yeah. So good call.
That will be that's kind of the next bit because Yeah, I mean, it's fine when you show up at a Microsoft event and everything's driven from a Surface and you can just connect right into the hub and everything's fine. Though, well, I have to tell the story about the AV guy. Oh my.
Those audio guys and AV guys, I tell you.
So this guy was basically. Do you remember? I mean, folks, the SNL skit of my company's IT guy. That was him.
Oh yeah.
So he's basically like, move, 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 and he goes over and he's like, the reason that this is happening because for some reason when I would use the clicker, and it was not just a like normal, it's one of those big monstrous industrial
industrial
clickers.
RF, like you press it and your hair tingles.
Yeah, exactly.
Got
Whenever I went backwards, I clicked the back button, it would just randomly start going forward and backward and forward and backwards. Like literally, like some of them would go 6-7 slides in and then back 4 slides.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. And he goes, well, it doesn't do it for me. So
that's a good sign.
Let me click this button.
That's
and now look what is happening.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, it's in your slide deck. And I'm like, well, no, actually, it's.
See, at that point, I would have
because there's a video in your slides, and I'm like, no.
I'm like, at that point, I would have stepped back and said, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah, no, that doesn't work here. That doesn't work.
I've been here before. Like, I think I understand how these.
Well, and so this is the other thing, and I don't want to be that person, but I'm like, you're doing this for the company that makes this. Like, I don't know if you're aware. This is at any rate. So the other bit was interesting because I went in the day early to do a proper tech check, and then they're like, okay, well, when you connect in, and we did have downstage monitors, and this particular session has a lot of slides because we're showing a lot of code and things. And you know me, I'm not great at having a lot of slides because I like to talk a lot. So in the slide notes have timing that says only spend this amount of time on this slide because there's something else further down the slide deck and so on and so forth. And because this is the first time I've delivered this particular session publicly, I wanted to have my notes, right? So, and then there's another one because I was using some anecdotes or, things that I hadn't done before. So I'm like, use this one here. And so I was like, okay, downstage monitor. Okay, can't use downstage monitors. So let's just go ahead and set my own laptop on so that it'll be both the PowerPoint slide machine and the demo machine. Because I was going to use their normal PowerPoint presentation machine so that I could see the notes like on the downstage and I wouldn't have to stand back behind the podium, right? So then I get there, we get it all set up, I swap out, we're all good, everything's tested. We're still running into the issues with the clicker, so thank you, Pierre, for bringing me your clicker, because it was like, again, once we plugged in and everything, and he had the clicker at the back, like at his desk, and like I put my presentation into presentation mode, and it would just keep, I'm like, where's the clicker? It's not even on the desk, it's at the back, and it would just keep going forward. And I go, well, is it back there? He's like, oh yeah, it's right here. And then he pulls up like a box or something. He pulls it, it's right here. And I go, was there any chance that box was sitting on the button? No. It wasn't.
You're describing my absolute hell.
and so like I literally had to just like disconnect. I disconnected the USB cable from the Surface Hub that they're using.
Yeah.
That connects to the clicker, and then plugged in the one that Pierre gave me. He's like, there's something wrong with your machine. It can't do clickers. And I'm like, literally like it's a brand new. Okay. Anyway,
Joey's
all
face,
fine.
his closed captions were precious.
Oh yeah, if my face had closed captioning, it just would be edited.
Your internal dialogue. Your internal dialogue was like through.
I was just like, man, okay, just let me present. So then like a few minutes before, another guy comes in and he's like, well, why are we doing this? Because like last night after tech checks, we switched it around so that you could see your notes.
Quality service. Quality service.
Yeah, they're not the normal folks that we use, because like normally we have some amazing folks. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow. Wow.
and he's like,
That's crazy.
you have to make sure you use this network for your demos.
Mhm.
Has to be wireless. And I'm like, but we're connected wired. Has to be.
And on the next episode of
Move. I've got my MCSC. You don't know anything.
I'm willing to bet he probably does not have an MCSE.
Oh, but he was all up in my PowerPoint deck changing things.
Yeah.
So there is a video that I use because I show a jailbreak, and in order to have a consistent experience with AI, I recorded it. Yeah. And at the very end, there is a payoff of content safety blocking the jailbreak. And so he's like, well, no, you have to have the video loop. Or go back to the beginning, because that's what's moving your slides forward, because your video just stops. And I'm like, yes, because then I use Zoom it to go in and show and focus in on a particular area. He's like, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah. My last experience was nowhere near like that. And like you, I'm the one that's just like, they come up, do you need help? I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I just need to see which connection I can use. I'm going to be doing it this way, and leave me alone.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, oh, use this network and use this. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. He's like, let me mic you up. And I'm like, just hand me the pack, please.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you have to go up. And I'm like, no. So I take the pack and I drop it down and I attach it. And he's up over there fiddling, and he drops the microphone like halfway down. And I'm like, and I had a quarter zip sweater on, and I'm like, take it off, zip it up, put the mic back up where it belongs. I'm like,
oh my.
It was, Vizio VP asking, did you try turning him off and back on again? I don't know that would have helped the situation. Yeah. But I was, and I was being very, very careful, because back after my session, I was back in this, after tech check, I was back in the speaker room. And I know some folks from the event team were in the room, and I was trying not to throw people under a bus. And Alex, our friend Alex, was like, everything good? Everything good? I'm like, not the best experience, but I didn't want to say anything to him. Right. But then what was funny is I was telling this story, and Melissa, who is kind of the organizer of all the content where all this stuff is, and everything, Melissa works back there. She's just like, she's snickering as I'm trying to, as I'm telling this story, because, I've been doing this for a long time in my career. And she's like, yeah, we should probably have a conversation with them to let them know, like, this is, because I'm sure, like, there's partner sessions that are being done in the same rooms. Right. And I'm sure not everybody who comes in there is
as well versed as people that have done this for years
at these, who literally goes into other teams inside of Microsoft and talks to them about how to properly do presentations and make sure you get there early and do your tech check things and turn off your clock at the bottom of the screen. And
so I have to ask you in 30 seconds.
Yes.
How was Sarah's keynote demo?
It's really good.
Was she super fast and talking fast? Was she at a Sarah pace or a proper pace?
No, she was. It was all. It was in keynote mode. Yeah. Look, she had a lot to say in 3 minutes.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, it was fine. No,
nice.
It was not. It was. It was really well done. It was really well done.
I was sad I was not going to be there to see it. It's also not recorded, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
her first.
I needed some first-hand feedback.
Keynote support. So
yeah, nice.
I believe the comment was from the exec that she supported one of the best demos that we've had in the keynote. That's the comment. So yes,
perfect.
All right, let's go pick some words, because I talked too long.
Naming segments.
So we've got to go to.
See, we have one vote
thing here.
Yeah.
So I will make sure that I choose words. Okay. Beer money levels of hell lurking scripts. I wonder if that was supposed to be scraps. So it could be scripts. Trip report, fish fry, Win Summit, Windows Server, Summit patch, and Switch Summit, Keynote AI. Alternative illusion. That's 2 words, Jan.
Yeah.
WS, but not Windows, SharePoint services. What is going on? Affiliate influences, Walking Bailey, inflating skew. Inflating skews? Cruising for a brewski.
Yeah.
PS, creative process, closing boots, scraps, clicking 2-step, facial closing captions, statuesque. This is too hard. Mic drop.
I know.
An e-girl. Where did e-girl? What? I didn't.
And so far, there's 1 vote. Beer money levels of hell.
Look, I'm just not even going to pick words from this one.
Yeah. Let's make up our own.
Let's do fish fry, keynote. Clicker. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we had problems with clickers.
Keynote clicker.
Fish fry, keynote clicker.
Yes.
Clicker. Thank you.
They added a word. There you go. There you go. And with that, we've come to the end of another exciting episode of the Patch and Switch program. Thanks, friends, for joining us. I apologize for the spinning wheel, where I literally would stop.
I'm just happy you're here. Like, I wasn't expecting any support whatsoever. So
hey,
I'm glad I didn't have to carry the show and then have the other person.
Okay, go ahead, Joey. You can talk.
Just me. Thanks to our friend Gogo Gadget 360, Mark Canuck, of course. Thanks for being here. Good time hanging out in London with you, Jan. Good to see Jan. Let's see, who else did we have? J Shock, thanks for your support. AZ Cloud Elf, calling me out for my iCarliness. That's always good. Absolutely, as per usual. DJ Eddie, GoGo Gadget 360, of course.
Brit translation.
Yep. Ferris Brits. We're back in a fortnight in 2 weeks' time with another episode of the show. Until then, have a weekend, everybody. We're sorry. The host that you have called is either disconnected or is no longer in service.
We need to redo the segment for beer money. I completely forgot that I worked on my Raspberry Pi.
Oh.
Like my pie hole.
We don't need to. No, not going to touch that.